Minasan konnichiwa. This is a talk about the Geoscience book, Volume 2. This is something coordinated by Ariel Moulet, and I will help Ariel to coordinate this effort. Because you see that there is a Volume 2, there was a Volume 1. And first, an information about PRIMA. PRIMA is designed primarily as a community resource. About 75% of the observing time will be for guest observations, GO, which means a very large amount over the 5 years that we plan to have PRIMA working. There will be PRIMA surveys that will produce a high-impact legacy datasets, and they will go in archives that we will be able to use after that. The archive with access to all science and calibration data. Software will also be provided. So this will be something you can directly use. Most of PRIMA's scientific impact will come from community-led studies, geo and archival. And we add in the first book, coordinated by Ariel, the PRIMA Geobook Science Volume 1, which is on archive, about 70% of the 2020 decadal survey addressed, so that you can see here in these tables. So we tried, the community tried to cover most of these topics coming from the decadal survey, and that was a large number of proposals. And we want now to develop a concept that is most responsive to the community needs, and and PRIMA continues to solicit community engagement and input for this phase A. So this volume 1 is here. It's on archive. It was since November 2023. You can have a link directly if you look from Moulet et al. And there are 76 community contributed cases over all scientific areas, from the very local comets to the IZ polymetry. So we try to have and to accept people from various communities. And this volume 1 totals about 21,000 hours of observation. That is about 65% of the expected time for geo observations. The share between the instrument is 35% for PRIMA, 32% for FIRES, and the last third will share and use both instruments. So it's very balanced programs that we had for this GEO Volume 1. So of course, we thank all the people who have been writers for this first book. And we are now working on the Volume 2, that's in preparation. Any member of the international astronomical community can develop and submit the case for Volume 2. So we are very interested in getting as many proposals as possible. And that's why we want people to contribute to the scientific development of the PRIMA concept, and also be active in the PRIMA community to try to diffuse information and also to develop new science case. So for this Geoscience book volume 2, we have a submission deadline through a form on Google, which is at the end of May of this year, and a publication around the end of summer 2025. It will include both revised case from volume 1, but also new cases. So you can apply and develop things. So this is the QR code to go to the form. And you can also specifically for this Geo Volume 2 contact either Ariel or myself, plus the team of editors and more widely the PRIMA team for general support. There is something specific about Japan. I will mention it later on. So how to get started? You have, and you had with Mark's presentation, the characteristic of PRIMA and FIRES. You will get that from different sources and from the presentation that will be online as soon as possible. And the general parameters are that you can use all observing modes available. And the geo program observation can be up to several thousands of hours. It was proposed for volume 1 and all sky survey of 5,000 hours. So this is something that we can try to manage, and we'd love to hear about them. The contributions will be around 3 to 8 pages, and based on the template we will provide. The main reference are the GeoBook Volume 1, the instrument page and fact sheets that you will be available to get soon, and the science page for information on PI science. If you need more information, please reach out to editors if you think your idea is based on PI survey observations. And in this case, we welcome archival, guest investigator, or GI cases. So please talk to us if you think that you want to do something which is close to PI surveys, which is, I must admit, not fully defined right now, but we will, as we mentioned before. You need first to start with the feasibility to estimate the target's brightness, size, line widths, etc., all information related to the observation that you want to do. You will use the ETC, which is available online, and like here, and you can try to see what you can get, and the next talk will explain that with more details. There are important consideration for this ETC that you need to read to be sure that you are close as possible to the actual condition of observations. And again, reach out to editors for question, editors of Volume 2 about more capability information like the time domain constraints, continuum subtraction, like what's asked before, and saturation levels. We won't have all the information at once, so we can ask questions and provide them later on, and that we help the community to know better what we can do. If you want to resubmit a Volume 1 geo case, so as I said before, there was many of them from all type of topics. The revision will allow for consistency with later specifications and updated science that you will get right now. Actually, the template is very similar to Volume 1. We just modified it a little bit to be more adapted to what we want to do now. The main considerations will be to check against updated instrument descriptions, use the ETC for time estimates, adapt to new instrument table in the templates, and update the science based on result since the last 2 years, because well, we know that science is evolving fast. We have several instruments that are observing the style like JWST, ALMA, etc. So science evolves very fast right now, and you need to update the science that you want to describe in the proposals. The science case in the template section that will need a 2-page science justification. Like in most proposals, the content to address will be as a context, a broader context, science questions that you want to address. Why do you need PRIMA? What type of method will you use for interpretation? And what is the link to testable hypotheses that you have to assume? If possible, we would like to have one figure highlighting measurement or discovery space enabled by this PRIMA observation. We would like to have this because it's well, spinning more and faster than having only the text. Of course, that's if possible. This is an example of what you can get. This is from Donnelly et al. Simulated PRIMA fire spectra of 2 luminous galaxies at redshift 4.5. That you have here with PRIMAger in the dots and the spectra, and 2 different type of pH strengths that you have here. So you see, of course, that the pH strength is larger for the red one, that's the blue one, but you can detect the differences here using PRIMAger. Of course, if you have spectroscopy, it's even better. The observing plan tables that you have here are for FIRS spectrometer and PRIMAger imager, of course. So you have different mod here, fill boxes for each mod used in the table that you will have, and you can not pointed high resolution observation or multiple pointing, and you can get details sorry, available if you ask for that. For PRIMA, you have the same thing. You fill mapping detail box. You check which band you are interested in. You will get all of the bands at once, but if you are more specifically interested, for instance, in the parametric band or in the PHA bands, it's good to inform what you prefer. And you fill out to the best of your knowledge, of course, with indicative estimates. Then we'll try to iterate with you, and we'll come back to you if anything is unclear, and you can ask questions all the time. So for FireRes, you have the pointing high resolution, 4,400 at 112 micron. Some type of mapping. It's something that could be done, but we won't develop that too much right now. It's a bit more difficult to do it. And then pointing low resolution 100 and mapping low resolution 100. So you need to provide this information to be able to, for us to assess how good is the feasibility for each of the proposal with respect to your objectives. For pre-merger, you will have to provide the mapping details, which bands is primordial for you, hyperspectral bands, parameter bands, both, and all this is related to the science cases. And of course, well, the last question is more for us to have some statistics. Do you need parametric information? We can, of course, derive from the table above, but it will be much simpler for the editors to have this information right here. Then more details on the observing plan, the integration time for each instrument based on PRIMA etc. Well, you can also use another method, but please specify how you derive the integration time. And you don't have to include overheads inside this integration time. Do you need any special capabilities, non-sidereal targets, timing requirements, non-interruptible special calibration, something like this? Please provide this information. That will be most useful. It will be also, as was mentioned by Anna, to have some information on the synergy with other facilities, because that will help us to understand how difficult it will be to manage synergy and to get all the time. And of course, the description of the observation, how you will manage this observation. So this is one very short description of these observing plans that we had for one proposal. It doesn't need to be very long. We don't want to frighten people, to scare people about this. But well, of course, the more you will write, the better will be. But well, it doesn't need to be several pages with many, many details. Just the minimum one is required. So let's now assume that you have successfully submitted your proposal. There will be one managing editor that will be assigned to your submission. And during summer, the editors will check consistency, observing details, and everything related to your proposals. And if need be, you will be contacted by the editors for clarification and to validate the edited draft. Later on, you will be contacted to validate the formatted draft that will be included in the compiled volume. So once again, we are here to support the contributors. If you have an idea and want to talk about it, you can contact either Ariel Mollet or myself. And well, of course, any other member of the team of editors or the primary team is also available for general support. The engine Kekyusha no support. So Elizabeth Tasker proposed to help the Japanese speaker to submit Geo and JKs. So you have her address. She's online. Maybe do you want to say a word, Elizabeth?
Sure. I haven't. There's not really much to say beyond the slide there, but yes, if you are submitting a case from Japan and you would just like a native English speaker check, I'd be very happy to proofread your submission. In that case, though, the deadline would be a little earlier because I need some time to get through it. So maybe May 16th-ish for that. Thank you.
I get on. So, well, please contact Elizabeth if you need it. Of course, you can also, as I mentioned before, contact anyone I mentioned. So again, you can become a working group member. This is very useful for you because you get some information, but also for us because we can provide you some information and we can contact everyone. You have the QR code here, and we really strongly encourage the early career participation in working group, not only early career, of course, but everyone is accepted, and we are very happy to have these new people. For phase A, you have this, and the meeting will resume in February, so now. And you have opportunity to work closely with the PRIMA team to determine PRIMA's impact to your science. And you can also contribute by defining precursor studies, what you need as a function of your objectives, simulations, observation with other telescopes, etc. So that's quite important, and we're really happy to have more people in the working groups. So I will just now flash over several slides. That's some examples that you will get with the presentation. So for example, here you have one proposal on the PRIMA Geoscience book on large survey. That was one of the Earth Sky surveys that I mentioned before. We also tried to work on a smaller 1/4 of the sky survey, which is called Pi survey, in 2,000 hours, and that will cover both the galactic plane, but also the ecliptic plane, the ecliptic pole, sorry, and that could be very interesting. Smaller but still very interesting survey of the LMC and SMC. That was a survey by Burgarella. This was right at all. And you have here some figure explaining as a function of the arrowhead, the depths of this survey located with respect to other ones. PRIMA can monitor 2,000 protostars in 600 hours from Fisher et al. So this is wavelength, and this is the burst amplitude. So this is one thing that was also proposed by Cara Battersby in the volume 1 for the time domain. Different types of other proposals, the AGN torus monitoring, transient sources discovered by CMB experiments, but not only cosmological transients. You can observe any transient. That's something we would like to hear as well. And the comets with the H isotopic ratio in water by Les et al. Magnetic fields, this is very new because we have these capabilities that Mark showed for PRIMA in the long wavelength bands. And Matthew Besserman defined some type of extragalactic polarization survey in 4,000 hours and 400 square degrees with a very large number of galaxies. That would be the first type of survey like this that will be carried out. We can also, in 100 hours by Lopez Rodriguez, study magnetic fields in giant planetary clouds in 6 local galaxies. So that's also something very new. And you have here in the Lopez Rodriguez proposal, how they can simulate the PRIMA parametric observation of these 2 galaxies. Star and star formation. Magnetic field of all star origins within 0.5 parsec by Patel et al., Kate Patel, and evolved star environments, planetary nebula simulated stars by Sabine et al. And you have here the same type of information with the figure here. Dust mineralogy, different people, H. Egami, Siska Kemper, and Matsura-san here, with this plot with from Aitchison, where you have the wavelength as function of the flux for different objects and different type of minerals here, pyroxene, olivine, etc. So this is also very, very interesting. And more ISM chemistry in 30 hours, ISM evolution, circumgalactic medium, etc. from Onakasan et al. And other people, Weta et al. And Tarantino et al. So just to finish here, I will show what we have right now for the PISM1 that was described before. So we have three main themes: origin of planetary atmospheres. I won't go into the details because you will be able to get this information from other things. The second one is evolution of galactic ecosystems. How do supermassive black holes and their host galaxy co-evolved? This is something on which we are working now. And finally, the buildup of dust and metals, which is very appropriate because we have spectroscopy and photometry in the far infrared, mid and far infrared. So we'll get a lot of information from this. And just to finish, just an announcement that we'll have a conference in Marseille at the end of March, beginning of April, testing of the secrets of the cosmos with PRIMA Space Infrared Telescope. It's now too late to submit abstracts, but you can still attend the conference online. You can ask me and also Susan, who is in the SOC, about it. And that will also provide you with information about PRIMA and the science you can do with PRIMA. I think that's it. Yes. I can take questions if you have some.
That's a question.
Yeah, Jordan.
So maybe it's mentioned and I just missed it, but how do we draw a line between the science case in volume 1 and volume 2? Like how much, for example, if we're improving on a volume 1 cases, I guess we will obviously cite it, but I mean, to what extent the PRIMA team want the shape of the volume 2 look like?
Well, we want this volume 2 to be as complete as possible. So if you have a volume 1 case that you want to expand to make more in agreement with the present design of PRIMA, that would be very useful to have it submitted again. You don't have to change everything. I mean, the science case will be the same, but because you have now the ETC and we have no new specification, it's much better, I would say, to submit a new proposal. And well, you know that people will look at the volume 2 and maybe forget that there was a volume 1. So if you want to be seen, it's better to be in volume 2 anyway. That's what my guess, at least. Other questions, comments?
Can I ask another question? So,
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not a question, it's a comment. So Yalo, you should go ahead first.
Okay. So how does once the science case is submitted, how does it work? Like, does it go through some form of a review? Or it's like Decadal survey white paper which is submitted and posted on, like, how does it work in the volume 1, I guess?
Yeah, let me show you what we had. Oops, too far, sorry. Okay, so you will have someone, a contact that will be assigned to your submission. So you will be in contact with this managing editor, whoever it will or she will be, and so you can discuss with these people, with this person. So that will help because we can keep the information exchange between the proposer and the editors. And then we will work during summer over the consistency, the observing detail for look and study your proposal and come back to you if needed for clarification. And then we will have an edited draft that will modify if needed with respect to what you worked before, and you will be finally protected to validate this new draft that will be finally included in the volume. So we have several loops between the editors and proposals, the first one here and then another one here, that helps to be sure that what will be published in the volume is in agreement with exactly what we want to say, with the additional information that we get from the PRIMA team. Does it address your question?
Yeah, because one thing, I guess, as a I guess for people thinking about writing a GeoCase, is that maybe we just misunderstanding her PRIMA work and proposing something that is technically infeasible or something.
Yeah, so we will take care about this. I mean, we really, it's very important to have these consistency checks about everything. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Hane, I think you had a comment.
Yeah, so I just want to mention there are some people who actually reproach me with concern that some science cases they are interested in writing up seems a bit similar to, there are some cases a bit similar to those in volume 1. So I think in that case, I believe we still encourage everybody to write the original case. Yeah. And so even you find out something in volume 1 is close to idea, but it's still we still encourage you to write that case up, and then because it's hard to make everything exactly the same. It's the original idea, so it's important for us. So we encourage people to actually publish that in volume 2.
Yeah, so we value it quite a lot for people to, and we understand that it is work and we appreciate that work, but it helps us have a more complete census, because we will sort of be more referencing volume 2 as things that we know is science that is absolutely possible with PRIMA's capabilities. You know, we don't expect that cases become impossible with sort of the slight changes in capabilities between volume 1 and volume 2, but this helps us sort of have the most complete statistics.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you saw your science case in volume 1, you can still submit it. And well, if we think after checking that it's really close to another one, we can manage to contact people, and if they want to collaborate, it's one option. If they don't, that's another option. But still, don't be afraid to submit in anything you think, even if you saw it before. It's not the same exactly as I said, and that would be very useful. We are very interested to get as many proposals as possible and to cover many topics over the entire astronomy.